now it is time to go inside TD's film room. And TD, of course, if you're talking Eagles, you got to talk about Saquon Barkley first. He's on pace to break that single-season rushing record. What do you have for us in the film room?
You mean the biggest mistake the Giants have ever made in their history of their franchise? Yeah, that dude. Listen, Saquon Barkley is a generational talent, and he has the opportunity, and he has shown that throughout the course of this season. It's not always about what Saquon Barkley does, because as you see right here, the Baltimore Ravens did not do their job. Saquon is going to end up taking this play to the house right here, and hats off to him for finishing this the way that he did. The corner's got to do a much better job on the back end of saving the day when things break away. But right here, I love Roquan Smith. He's a Georgia guy. I talk about him all the time. But right here, Roquan has to do a better job, KB, of funneling this thing back to the other defenders. He has to take this play on with his right shoulder on the outside of this pulling tackle. And if he does that, then that would allow this defender to fit right here in this gap, and this play would literally be stopped for a minimal to no gain.
Okay.
But since Roquan gets stopped right here on the inside, that allows Saquon Barkley to have this gigantic lane to run through. And once you give Saquon that much space to run through, he's going to run to daylight every single time. So Saquon is a special player, but right here, he didn't have to do much special because the Ravens did a terrible job of fitting on this particular play.
Well, we have seen teams who have gotten it right and have been able to stop him, and I believe that's the next play you brought us.
Absolutely. The next play is the play against Tampa Bay, and as you see, Lavonte David, another really good linebacker that I'm a big fan of. Right here, Lavonte does a great job of making sure that he did exactly what I just talked about on that last play. He funneled this defense back to where it needed to be. As you see right now, we have this corner. He's fitting right here on the outside. They have a puller coming around. Lavonte David is going to fit on the outside of him. This other linebacker is going to fill inside, which takes away all the rush lanes. And once you take those rush lanes away, it's all about securing the tackle. That's what Lavonte is able to do right here. He secures the tackle, but the safety didn't let him just do that on his own because Saquon is a tough guy to get to the ground. So we got to gang tackle him. Everybody has to come to the ball, and that's how you got to get Saquon Barkley on the ground because he's physical, he's fast, and he wants it. And a lot of times we've seen he's wanted it more than the other defenders. So we got to make sure that we're ready and we're gang tackling when we get ready to take on Saquon Barkley this weekend.
You just had high praise for Lavonte David. I know there was a guy on the Eagles defense, another linebacker that you really like a lot, and that is Zach Bond.
Yes, Zach Bond has been doing a phenomenal job. So when we watch this film, we got to understand and know where this guy is at all time because they don't just sit him back and let him cover guys or allow him to sit back and just make tackles. They will send him on a blitz because they love his ability to beat one-on-one backs, beat backs one-on-one. And as you see, Justice Hill is doing a very, very bad job of picking him up, and it's not easy to get Lamar Jackson on the ground. Let me say this first and foremost. He's one of the toughest guys in the league to get down, but Zach Bond does a great job of getting him on the ground. Next play we have from another great Eagles defender. He's rookie, Cooper DeJean, who has done a phenomenal job taking advantage of every opportunity. You don't see a lot of guys that's able to tackle Derrick Henry.
No.
Yes, that's Derrick Henry that he just took to the ground like that. Derrick Henry is one of the most imposing figures in the NFL when it comes to having the ball in his hand, and most DBs are afraid of him, but not that rookie right there. So we got to be in tune to what's going on the defensive side of the ball because you hear so much of the Eagles' offense getting talked about because they have Jalen Hurts, they have A.J. Brown, they have now Saquon Barkley, and their offensive line has been a stalwart for a long time. Our defense is going to be in for a tough battle, but I know for a fact that we're going to be up for the task. We're going to improve on the last 2 weeks, and we're going to tackle better this week, right, KB?
There we go. That's right. Thank you so much for the game plan on what this Panthers team needs to do against the Eagles.
No problem.